Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia Harris and this is
Anna Jujumil, like she would say, Jujumil.
Jujumil! And I am so excited to finally get my YouTube going to talk about the things I know I really need to talk about. I want you guys to come here and expect a lot of vulnerability, as me and Anna have been on such an interesting journey, like deep diving, and we want to share the things that people just are afraid to talk about. But since we've done so much deep work, the joy and the peace that we continue to find on high levels, we want to share how we've gotten there by being vulnerable and what's possible when you truly have faith that you can overcome things and that you're willing to address it. So on that note, my story, just a quick recap because I want to make these first episodes a little short, is I come from a broken background. I played college ball, I coached college ball, I played professional basketball, I did door-to-door sales, I've been in a lot of different industries. In 2022, I started making the money. I made it on social media, going crazy, blowing up. Woo! Right? Woo! Woo! Right? The money,
ESPN,
that,
baby.
this. It's like all the things that people say are like success. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I got it. I hit it. But underneath that, something was missing. And so, you know what? I just had a little prayer in my heart, super simple, for quantum leaping. And I will say, be careful what you ask for, because it will come for you. But be ready when you do ask, because that put me on a journey to really deep dive and learn more about God and connect with Him and learn to trust Him and to surrender. So between a lot of these different things I had to start learning, it took a lot of slowing down and tuning in and looking within myself to find my own answers. Because what I've found for myself is all the things that growing up with, whether it was ADHD, and then that came with anxiety and lack of purpose and depression and unhealthy attachments, especially anxious most of the time. And then, you know, same-sex attraction and going down that route and being even more confused and so much confusion. And what I've learned is there were so many answers underneath all of that, and none of it was my true identity. And it's also true that I dealt with it, and that's part of my journey and who I am, but it's not actually who I am on a soul level. So, that being said, I also want to introduce Anna.
Hi guys.
Woo! And
the favorite.
Yes, I love that when I started doing a lot of my work, she naturally just started seeing me shift. And so she started asking questions, and she comes from her own wild, crazy background, and I coached her in college, and I'm grateful that God had me go down there a long time ago and that she's been in my life so we could now be on this journey together. So
I love it.
why don't you just tell them a little bit about your backstory, kind of what you've struggled with, kind of where you're at now.
So my name is Anna, like you said. I'm originally from Italy, like a little city called Castellanza, actually. I feel like
Castellanza. I didn't even know that.
I feel like I always say Milan, but I was like, I need to be precise.
Yes.
That's where my house is.
So it's in Milan, Castellanza.
Castellanza, that's the little like city. Milan, it's like the biggest city that people usually know that it's close to. That's why I say Milan, because why would I waste my time say Castellanza? You know,
True. I love
I
it.
can't even say my last
Now
name.
they know Milan, but that's the town, guys.
Can't even say my last name. So I came here 11 years ago now. Yeah, it was 2014, and I have always wanted to come to the US. Like since I watched, you know, the Space Jam on Michael Jordan, I was like, one day I'm going to the US to play basketball because I want to be there. And after high school, my mom didn't see me apply for like any colleges or anything. I was like, I just know I'm going to the US, and I had no idea why. But then I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go. And then a couple weeks after, I got this message from this recruiter that probably saw me play with the national team, and I just got a scholarship to play college ball. So I was like, when you like set your vision, just comes. That was like the first time now working with you, I realized that I did that. But I also come from a like broken family like Alicia, and a pretty abusing father. but we overcame that, so that's great. But basketball has always been my passion and my safe space, really, and I love that I came to the US and I got to meet Alicia, and she was my coach, and she always warned me not to date certain people, but then I did date them. And so I just love that she was always there, and we were just like always connected. She was the first person that I met my second year coming back to the US, and I loved it. We always connected right away. And I am so glad that I was able to see her and to actually see what's in your heart and the thing and the inspiration, because I don't think a lot of people don't see you that way. I wish they can see you with the eyes that I'm seeing you.
She definitely saw me. She's one of the first that, as soon as I kept changing too, she was still, actually she was the one that would listen to me on all of it, door to door, all the adventures. She was open, as long as she also felt it herself.
Yeah.
But it was super cool that she has a similar story of just shooting her shot with faith, like an inner knowing, and just trusting it, like coming to the States and then trusting me on certain things when she felt it, even though it's like scary and unknown. When she was asking me questions, well, do you think that there's more, or that I could not be like this and maybe be like that and change, and so many questions, right? But yeah, kind of tell them a little bit of what, as we started doing this work, like what are some of the things, how your body maybe felt, because I'm a believer your body has messages, maybe what you kind of came out of, what your body was trying to tell you, and what you found out was possible up to this point.
Okay. Well, there is definitely one major theme about me that I feel like even maybe people, if they knew me a couple years ago, that would say Anna was always angry. And indeed I was. That's probably like the thing that I really needed to come out to even reconnect with myself, because it was like the thing that was just holding me there the most. And you know, this clearly coming from trauma, but the anger was so anchored. But behind anger, there was really like a sense of like feeling unworthy, unlovable, like, you know, worthless, not willing, not being heard, no, all of these like little thing. And
so that's what you learned from facing the anger, right? From facing what's actually going on here, and she faced it, and now she's talking about what she's...
That's what really was behind it, right? Using aggressive tones is because you need to be heard, because you need to feel protected, because going through the abuse, I never actually felt protected, and I was a child. And so like you want people to stick up for you when something happened, a partner, a friend, and if that doesn't happen, you yell at them, or just like the little thing, the person like, I don't know, in the car when you like road rage, that is a message, right? And then there are people that hide with anger, just like always talking over you. That's like masked anger, really. They just need to be heard.
Yep.
But if they really go deep down, they'll see that they're actually angry.
And even though you might pause for a week, trust me, it's still there. If you don't look at it, you can't just shove it down and be like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's still going to be in the background. With any of our stuff, I didn't have anger as much like she did, because I wasn't physically abused like she was. But I had my own... Well, somebody told me I had anger for my dad. And I remember thinking in my head, like, no, I don't. But when I went deep enough, I found out that my inner self and my younger self definitely had some rage.
Yeah.
So... But you can't know unless you go deep enough.
That's true.
For different reasons, or even clarity on what's going on underneath the wiring of everything, of like why I didn't even feel my self-worth, even though at some point I thought I was. I was like walking around like making the money, I'm doing this, I felt good. I'm like, what do you mean self-worth? But I realized I was making that my self-worth, and that most people do that. And God, that's the difference, because when you do it His way, you realize none of that's your worth. Mm-hmm. And you can start to enjoy so much wholeness and peace and everything, like in the now. And then everything actually starts to flow to you in alignment, and you no longer have to grind and hustle and prove your worth anymore.
That's true.
And it is so beautiful to be able to do that. Like my mentor I was guided to get, she was like a God-centered, ambitious woman's coach, and she was trying to teach people to lead from their feminine. And at first I'm like, ooh, that's piquing my attention, and now I understand
why,
what that means, and how feminine energy is truly a leading energy no matter what gender you are. And I can explain that on a different episode. But
well, another thing that I felt like I actually realized the truth about me is you know, never felt safe with my dad. Did I say my dad? It was a person. I never felt safe with my dad, and I actually never even connected emotionally with my mom. So I never felt safe with my dad, and I never emotionally connected with my mom. So I just always dated women, always. Well, and I still enjoyed maybe sex with the guy, but it's just, sorry, that was so direct actually. But
we need direct. They want to hear directness.
I just had sex with guys just to like even see if there was something, but for me, like the safety, the physical safety wasn't there, that I never even could let myself allow to just even be emotionally connected to them in any way.
Because it was just physical and it was unsafe.
Right. And one other thing that I discover now is that going through this trauma, I don't, because even a friend asked me, how do you just give up women? And I'm like, I didn't give up women. It's just like my healed self, that's not what it's looking for anymore. It's kind of like even, you know, now joining the church, people told me, oh, like, you know, you're not gonna drink and have sex and smoke weed.
What
and
church
I was
did
like,
you join?
The LDS, the Latter-day Saint Church. Don't be calling us Mormons.
Amen.
Not one of them, so don't be calling
Amen.
me that way. But yeah, and I even lost friends because of like that simple choice. It's kind of like they saw alcohol and weed as everything. They say, why did you give up everything? And I was like, for you, alcohol, weed, and sex is everything? Like, it's kind of sad if you really put it in perspective, right? Because I feel so much better without alcohol. Like, waking up hangover and now I'm 30, I'm like, I'm glad. I don't know to think about it.
It's like, wow. It really, you learn that it traps you. All those things actually trap you. Because I've felt, as I've done my work and as she continues to do work, it's like these energetic chains start to fall off of you. So you can be open enough and heal those wounds and receive what truth is in the right way, and not have to mask things to avoid pain and those chains that keep you thinking that you need something that you actually don't. And that's my experience, that's her experience. And there are different extremities, right? Like, I started exploring women a different way, a different reason, and on an episode we're going to talk about that, so we can go a little bit deeper for all the things, especially just dating women, and in my opinion, why so many women are even turning to women more and more in this day and age.
Makes sense.
So, on that note, do you have anything else for the next episode?
No, I don't think so.
I think we got them ready for some stuff that's coming ahead.
I don't think so.
God, what we found out about gay tendencies for ourselves.
For ourselves,
Our
truth.
I'm going to share my stories and what's
truth.
possible for myself, what's possible for her. So that, you know, if somebody's looking for a message, great. And this isn't also just to tell somebody that they have to choose a route that we're going or that I'm going. It's more like, if you're looking for what's possible, I have some tips. And anybody that is gay, it's like, I also want to share a message for people that aren't. Like, hey, no matter what your belief system is or who you are, you need to love other people where they're at and focus on your own stuff. Like, I'm always going to continue to still keep growing and keep making myself better. And that's something I'm committed to. So,
that we are committed to.
Woo! Let's go. Shoot your shot. Watch the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Go out there and just start looking deeper within. I actually have a 75-day Soul Fit experience if you want to join in on that. It is $99, but if you really can't afford it, I'm flexible. I just want people to find their own answers in their own way, and it's just a baseline guide to help you figure out your own answers no matter what the topic is, because I'm a believer that we need to slow down when the world is telling you to speed up. So shoot your shot so you can elevate higher.
Yeah, shoot your shot. Hopefully the wind wasn't too bad.
I know, if it's a little windy, sorry. Guess what? This is how you got to shoot your shot when nothing's perfect, and you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Because one day when there's even more money in the bank, we'll have all this professional stuff, but we're going to look back at these moments of what it's like to just shoot with faith and not have everything
I don't
perfect.
care. I like it here.
And this too. We're always going to be in nature because it's so much better.
So
this is like the feminine flow out here. Everybody's caged in a box, and you can just feel
you gotta show them.
So I'll show you the thing. So anyway, let's do this.
Yay.
Woo!